I'm sorry, sir.
After all that we've gone through,
This
all
is,
gone through the crying, the this, the that,
like,
and now you've picked up an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Don't talk about the case, Mr.
He's the
Franklin.
prosecutor.
The only thing is, I cannot express my disappointment. I really thought that you and I were like reaching together.
we are, we were, and we really are. My family's working against me. They trying to take my SSI check and stuff. I haven't done anything. This is my 35th year. I haven't done nothing.
So look, I don't even know what happened. I want to know. So he picked up an ag assault with Dudley. What happened? Please, just don't say anything, please. I just want to know what happened or why they're saying what happened. Okay.
On March 17th, 2025, at approximately 5:48 p.m., officers were dispatched from an aggravated assault call at a residence in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officers met with the complainant, who stated they are a resident in a group home. The complainant stated that the defendant is a person they have known for 3 weeks. The complainant stated the defendant arrived at the group home around 5:38 p.m. and knocked on the front door multiple times, cussing at another resident due to them not opening up the front door fast enough. The complainant stated the defendant continued yelling, cursing, and talking down to the resident. So the complainant tried to talk the defendant down. The defendant stated to the complainant that he was going to fuck him up, then went to his bedroom. The defendant took a hold of a fork which the complainant believed was a knife and pointed it at the complainant. The complainant asked if he was going to get stabbed, and the defendant charged at the complainant. The complainant stated they feared for serious bodily injury or death. The complainant ran and locked themselves in their motor vehicle and called the police. While waiting for the police in the vehicle, the defendant was still threatening to kill the complainant and was kicking the vehicle.
Wow. I just came from Food Town and I went back home to eat. I was at the door, I knocked.
So just the problem is that there are some people in this life, Shaisa is always happening to them for some reason. Always. This, that, this. It's always happening. It's always happening. Don't matter where you go. I'm always stepping in, you know?
I'm not a violent person.
Your history says.
No, I'm not a violent person. I'm an SSI patient. I've been dealing with this stuff all my life. Soon as they get my name
The only thing
to use my social.
The only thing I'm going to say is that, you know, it's time to do some deep reflection. You know, it really is time, because the thing is that I don't want you to end up with a 40-year sentence, man, because of the no self-control. I really thought we had something. I'm just so disappointed, man.
I don't know. Well, I'm the one that's been did wrong. Just, I don't care no more.
So look, I got to revoke your bond, man.
I
So
don't know why.
Because you picked up a felony.
I'm doing everything I can do. It's people out there doing hate cases, hate crimes, all towards people like me. All I'm trying to do is just get my home back. They took it from me. Everything. Because stuff is happening against me. I'm not assaulting people. I never assault people.
you know, the problem is that while this case is open, we can't do anything in here anyways. You know, what I'd like to do is, you know, have you evaluated to see how we go forward, because I just don't know.
A lot of this stuff was false. All of this stuff is false, so it's me.
We're gonna have to wait for it to play out. I hope, Mr. Franklin, but I don't know. Well, I gotta wait to see the evidence and see what
Well,
happens.
you can't just send me to a psych ward unit or something while all of this is going on.
First, I have to have you evaluated, but I can't do that until the felonies are
This does
worked
not make
out.
no sense. This is my 35th year, and I have to keep dealing with this stuff.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna revoke it. I'll set it at 5,001. All right, Mr. Franklin, I just don't want you to have any weapons and just don't pick up any new cases, man.
Thank you, Judge.
This is where things take a sharp turn. Notice how the judge immediately warns the defendant not to talk about the cassettes to protect him from accidentally admitting something on record. But you can also feel the disappointment here. What do you think? Is the judge being too harsh, or is this exactly the reality check the defendant needs right now?
Thanks. Is it Gaston or
Gaston.
Gaston? Mr. Gaston, you're charged with two cases. You're charged with evading arrest or detention and unlawful carrying of a weapon. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine on both of those cases. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 14th, 2025, an officer observed a vehicle speeding on Gulf Freeway feeder by radar device going 72 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone. The officer then observed the vehicle turn left at a red light. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer instructed the driver to step out of the vehicle, and the officer began to detain the driver. As the officer was detaining the driver, the front passenger, the defendant, exited the vehicle. The officer instructed the defendant to return to the vehicle, and the defendant ignored the officer's instructions and started to walk away. The officer ordered the defendant to stop, and the defendant started running northbound. The officer observed the defendant place his left hand near the front of his waistband and throw a small black and blue object near a fence. The officer informed other officers of the defendant's location. Officers observed the defendant running eastbound on the 3,300th block of Scott Street and attempted to apprehend the defendant. The defendant was apprehended at the 3,100th block of Milby Street, approximately 0.2 miles away from the scene. The officers searched the area and located a firearm. The officer remained in visual contact with the location and no individuals approached that area.
What are they doing wrong? I mean, the officer just stops them and just arrests them? What for?
I'm not sure why the officer immediately detained him.
Really? Is that what we do now? We just stop and arrest? No. I'm going to find no probable cause in your case. Just be careful, man. If you have a gun, God forbid you use it, something happens, you dig yourself in a hole. Come on, man. We got one life. Be smart. Go to school, get some knowledge, make a ton of money, you know? Take a seat, please. Thanks, bud.
What was the last name, Judge?
Gaston,
Okay.
on both, no PC.
All right, Judge, next is page 6.
Did they arrest the driver? I mean, did they charge him with anything? Do you know? Do we have him for anything?
No, there's no connected cases.
Just driving while black.
Your Honor, I would just, I'm gonna point something out here. It was a speeding stop where the passenger was getting out of the car. I would say the officer would have the right to at least make sure the passenger was in the car while he was conducting a stop. That's,
Yes.
I don't even think that's an arrestable offense. You know? It's not an arrestable offense. They just literally pull him out, he's speeding and they arrest him. And then the co-defendant's doing nothing wrong. He just gets out of the car. He can just walk away. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. James.
I know. I was supposed to be here yesterday, but I didn't have my court papers. I thought I was supposed to be on the 25th. And I called the court.
Okay, I will reinstate your bond today.
Now I called the court, and she told me here this morning. So I had to catch 2 buses. I catch 1 bus.
There's no need for you to say anything. Just don't miss court again.
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with assault, bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
I'm sorry, but there's a photo from my computer.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
We have to do probable cause.
Oh, we got
Just, you have the right to remain silent. I don't want you to say anything because I don't want you to hurt your case anymore, okay?
On March 13th, 2025, at approximately 3:11 a.m., officers were dispatched to a gas station in Houston, Harris County, Texas, in reference to an assault. Upon arrival, officers met with the complainant, who stated the defendant assaulted him with his arms. The complainant stated he was at the gas station when an unrelated suspect started beating on him. As he was getting beat up, the defendant jumped onto the complainant and started beating on him as well. The defendant struck the complainant with a closed fist and strangled the complainant from behind with his forearms in a chokehold for 5 minutes. The complainant passed out. The complainant stated he felt pain. The complainant pointed out the defendant, who was across the street, and the officers attempted to detain the defendant, and the defendant resisted. The complainant positively identified the defendant. The complainant and the defendant are acquaintances through the complainant's girlfriend. The complainant had a bruise on his neck and a bump knot on his cheek. I have spoken to the complainant. So from what the complainant has told me is it is
Sir.
consistent.
Move.
It's consistent with the rip, but then also this other suspect apparently had fired at their vehicle while the defendant was being detained, and there's an ongoing aggravated assault along with this as well for the other suspect.
Know who that is?
Yes, I've gotten his name. I need to reach out to the officer to see what the status is on that, but we do have the name of the other suspect.
James, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. If I find that you put hands on anyone in this life from now on, I'm going to revoke your bond, and I'm going to make it so high you'll have teeth falling out. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You are not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using alcohol or illegal drugs, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. If I find that you're a danger to my community, likewise. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You are not to have any contact with this person. You're not to go within 1,000 feet of this. Was it a gas station?
Yes, it was a gas station, Your Honor.
This gas station, and I'm going to put an ankle monitor where I know where you are at all times. You just had 2 aggravated assaults and a burglary of a building
I didn't,
months ago. So,
John,
Mr.
I had
James.
nothing to do with this.
I want you to understand something. I will protect my community at all cost.
That,
Do you understand?
I understand that, sir. But I
I don't.
touched nobody. I broke the fight up between
Here's
this
what
guy.
we'll do. Here's what we will do. I will give you a lawyer today. We will wait for this evidence to come in. There's always 2 sides to a
Man,
story.
the officer said they need the film from the gas station.
I
That
want you-
exonerates me.
I want you to listen.
Sir.
There are always 2 sides to a story. And the evidence will point to whose side is correct. We are giving you the benefit of the doubt, and this is why
Thank
you are out in the free world as it is now. But if I find that you become a danger to my community, if I find that you pick up a new case, if I find that you break any of these conditions that I set forth, you know what's going to happen. Do you understand?
Sir.
I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear that. It doesn't matter to me. All what matters to me is going forward, what happens. And I want my community safe.
Understand.
Judge, can we also get a residential restriction for him not to be able to go near the complainant's residence as well? Because from what it sounds like to me, they all know where each
No.
other lives.
No, I don't.
So,
When I say I don't want you to have contact with the complaining witness in this case,
Can I just say one thing?
hold on. It is a Mr. Hernandez. When I'm telling you I don't want you to have contact with this person, it's phone calls, text messages, social media, where this person lives, where this person works, where this person hangs out. If I find that you are anywhere near this person, then I will revoke your bond. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And here's the rub, is that if I make your bond $5,000 to $10,000 or $15,000 and you don't have anyone to make that bond, you will be stuck like Chuck until this case is over with. All I'm asking you to do now is keep my community safe and don't go near this person.
I don't communicate with this person. I ain't touching nobody, Your Honor. I was breaking this guy.
Stop. I will give you a lawyer today. You can tell your side to the lawyer, and then you guys can come up to an agreement. I don't need to be involved at this
Yes, sir.
time.
But the officer told me they could.
Stop. I don't want to hear it. You have the right to remain silent. Exercise that right. You are not to be in possession of any weapons, no alcohol, illegal drugs, random testing, a GPS monitor, and no going within 1,000 feet of where the person lives or doesn't work. Do
I don't even communicate with the guy.
you mind appointing, Miss? Okay, I'm now going to give you a lawyer. You will be able to speak to the lawyer, and then you guys can come up to an agreement. You must remain in contact with the lawyer. If the lawyer tells me he cannot get a hold of you because you're ducking and dodging phone calls, I will issue a warrant. Do you understand?
But Your Honor,
You can talk to him. He'll be here shortly, and then you can tell him what happened. All right? Okay,
All right.
okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
we're good.
Okay, thank
you
you.
know,
Yeah. Come on, let's get this.
I had nothing to do.
Well, this is more of a client service matter than anything else. I would like to reapproach, Your Honor, on Mr. James. Mr. James has some questions about the probable cause, and if it's possible, I'd like to have probable cause read while I'm here with him so that I can communicate to him adequately everything that's going on.
Okay,
Thank you,
come up, Mr. James. He's saying there's no problem. Come
Your Honor. I think at this point, I'd like to just say that he's not fully understanding or appreciating the magnitude of what's going on so that we can communicate effectively. I'd just like us to have the transparency.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You are charged with assault causing bodily injury. You are facing a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. She's going to read what happened in this case. Please.
On March 13th, 2025, at approximately 3:11, officers were dispatched to a gas station in Houston, Harris County, Texas, in reference to an assault. Upon arrival, officers met with the complainant, who stated the defendant assaulted him with his arm. The complainant stated that he was at the gas station when an unrelated suspect started beating on him. As he was getting beat up, the defendant jumped onto the complainant and started beating on him as well. The defendant struck the complainant with a closed fist, then strangled the complainant from behind with
Okay,
his
hold
arm.
on. Did you hear what that said? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I know that's not true.
Okay.
That's what they're saying happened.
That's why we have evidence. Evidence points to whose side is correct. I know that you're saying it didn't happen.
Said that.
But the
Somebody said that. That's the probable cause.
We have film.
I got that. That's right. We're gonna work on it. Just listen.
With his forearms in a chokehold for 5 minutes. The complainant passed out. The complainant stated he felt pain. The complainant pointed out the defendant, who was across the street. When officers arrived, the officers attempted to detain the defendant, and the defendant resisted. The complainant positively identified the defendant. The complainant and defendant are acquaintances through the complainant's girlfriend. The complainant had a bruise on his neck and a bump knot on his cheek.
And Your Honor, of course, he doesn't have a bump on his cheek or his neck, and they got the wrong thing. They got the wrong guy. And we're gonna prove that. So, but right now, Your Honor, do you find probable cause? Judge found probable cause based on that. Now, we're gonna fight this, okay?
Okay.
Okay, now listen, now we got one more thing to take care of. Your Honor, I understand that as part of his bond conditions, the court is requesting he has an ankle monitor. Your Honor, we understand that the purpose of bond and the conditions are to ensure his return to court. I have talked to him and we'd like to make his next appearance required, Your Honor.
Okay.
We would ask that he not have to have that ankle monitor, Your Honor.
And the state would be opposed, just due to the complainant's safety and the threats to their life that happened, that was relayed to us during this incident. I don't know how him and the other suspect are involved. The state would be opposed to not having him do that.
And if I may, Your Honor, my client was not the initial aggressor. The facts are uncontroverted that my client, it was introduced to a scene of combat whether or not he was trying to break it up and help and it was a misinterpretation, or he actually hit this person who was ultimately unconscious and their recollection could be questioned. Those are all factual questions, Your Honor. He's contesting that he was a good Samaritan, Your Honor, and we'd like to prove that. But there were other facts that took place that were not my client. We would ask that even though they have concerns, he is not posing a risk that he would not return to court, Your Honor. And that would be the reason for the ankle monitor.
My fear, and after looking at his criminal history, he has extensive criminal history dating back to 1987.
Yes, Your Honor.
In fact, he has, and he just did 300 days on a burglar of a building not just a couple months ago, where 2 aggravated assaults with a deadly weapon were dismissed.
Yes, sir.
So my fear is I don't want him using alcohol, illegal drugs, and I don't want him anywhere near the complaining witnesses. And I want to ensure that this doesn't happen. So that's why I put this on. If after some time passes where there are no issues, I'm always happy to revisit.
Yes, sir.
But for the time being, I want to ensure that our community is protected and that the complaining witness is also protected. I mean, we have here an allegation where he was choked for 5 alleged minutes until he passed out.
No, that never happened.
Yes, sir.
Evidence will point to whose side is correct. I'm assuming, and I would hope, that if this is the fact, that officers would take pictures, there should be ligature marks, there should be all kinds of, so we'll see. I don't know. But the only thing,
Right, they don't have it right now. Yep. Yes, sir.
That's why.
you need to listen, Mr. James, you also need to understand that you need to be patient.
Listen,
Rome wasn't built in a day. It takes time to get evidence. They don't get it immediately. It may take 6 months to get a 911 call. I don't know. But it takes time. So please be patient and don't take it out on your lawyer. He's trying to do the best he can. All I'm asking you to do is don't use alcohol, illegal drugs, and stay away from this person. Don't pick up any new cases.
Say yes. I say yes.
listen,
Can you stay away from the person?
I don't be around.
And I don't want you to go near I don't want you to go where the gas station was. I don't want you to go to their house. I don't, nothing of this nature.
Can you do that?
Yes.
Tell the judge you can do that.
I can do that.
There you go.
I don't
That's it.
communicate.
That's it. You can do that.
That's all I'm asking.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, Mr. James, good luck, man.
Yes, sir, I'm yelling, troop around there.
All right.
I'm breaking them.
Okay, major legal moment here. The judge just tossed the entire case for lack of probable cause. That's very end. It tells you the officer's report didn't justify the arrest. Pay attention to how the judge even questions why the stop escalated so quickly. What do you think? Was this a case of over-policing, or was the officer following procedure?
You need to sign. This is right here. Your Honor, it's okay. I'd like to come back maybe off docket, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, even though we have a setting out till May on this matter. Just put the this.
I would like you guys to also do a RIP, make sure that there are no issues, so just be aware. So, Alan,
Yes, sir.
just give them a heads up
Yes,
when
sir.
you want so that they can have a RIP done to make sure everything is.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And
Your Honor.
then, yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're Robert Ramsey.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ramsey, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail because of the high blow. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 14th, 2025, officers observed a 2007 gray Toyota Solara traveling at 100 miles per hour in the 65 miles per hour zone. Officers caught up to the vehicle and conducted a traffic stop and made contact with the defendant, the driver, and observed an open bottle of whiskey in the front passenger area. The defendant admitted to having a few swigs of that whiskey. The officer observed slurred speech, confused demeanor. SFSTs were conducted. It was a 6 out of 6. Walk-in turn, a 6 out of 8. 6 out of 6 on the HDN, 6 out of 8 on the walk-in turn, and 2 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The defendant consented to breath. which came back to a .199 and a .208.
Did you say field sobriety tests were done or no?
Yes, they were.
Okay, I missed it. So
I'm
the
sorry.
Zoned out.
SMSTs were a 6 out of 6 on the HDN, a 6 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 2 out of 4 on the one leg stand.
got it. Okay, and you said, are you telling me that he's consuming alcohol while driving? Mr. Ramsey, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I am now taking away your ability to drive. I am now making that a condition of your bond. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If I find that you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. This is an affidavit that you're going to sign, promising me you're not going to drive. If I find that you do, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, may I at least request an interlock device rather than a no driving affidavit? That would
He's going
guarantee-
100 and he's allegedly taking swigs. What? No. No driving. Do you understand?
Yes, may I at least make the argument?
Sure.
Sure. So he does have to drive to get to work. I understand the accusations against him. I also believe that there's some falsehoods in the accusations against him, Your Honor. We don't have any videos, we don't have any evidence yet on the case other than just the DIMS report here. So, like I said, in reference to the alcohol being, guaranteeing the safety of the community, I would ask that the interlock be installed rather than it being a no driving affidavit. As far as the driving quickly, I'm sure that, he won't drive that quickly anymore, and he will swear that he will not speed or do anything else. We can say if he gets a ticket or something like that for speeding, Your Honor, that then we'd, accede to or agree to the no driving affidavit, Your Honor. But I do think the interlock device would fully guarantee the safety of the public in terms of him not being able to drive and then operate the vehicle.
Ready to be honest?
No, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. I'm taking away your privilege to drive for the moment. I don't care. I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol, I will put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, Your
I
Honor.
would hope that you recognize it's elementary that you're not to have alcohol in the car while you are driving.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's not absolute. But I want you to understand that this is a privilege. It's not a right. You want a right? Take your happy feet and walk from one place to the other. That's a right. This is a privilege. And if you look on the news every single day, someone dies in our county from an intoxication, assault, crash, whatever it may be. No. Now, you have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. But it is your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Stewart. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, ducking, dodging phone calls, you pick up a new case, you know what happens.
Yes, sir.
For now, I'm going to have you come up here, swear touch it, you're not going to drive. I'll get you to Victoria Center reset. You will get with Felicia for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go. All right. It's not absolute. After some time, show me some proactivity, and then we can talk.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
Judge, next is page 8, Lemus, Spanish speaker.
You are Eric Lemus.
Limas. Eric Limas.
So Lemus, you're charged with reckless driving.
Hasta
You are facing up to 30 days in jail
30 días.
and or a $500 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 15th,
El 15 de marzo
2025,
del 2025,
officers were working a
oficiales estaban
street
trabajando
racing takeover
en
operation
una operación
at
de la calle
909
de
Shepherd
909
Drive
Shepherd
in Harris
Drive en el
County,
condado
Texas.
Harris, Texas.
The officer
Los
observed a
oficiales
vehicle
observaron
failed
un
to signal in
vehículo
lane
que no
change and run a red light while
hizo la,
oncoming traffic was present.
y venía tráfico. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Yes. The officer
Los
observed the
oficiales observaron
vehicle
un
failed to
vehículo que
signal a
no
lane
puso su
change
señal para cambiar
and
el
run a
carril
red
y se
light
pasó una luz roja
with oncoming
con
traffic.
tráfico que venía en su contra.
The vehicle then
El vehículo
continued
entonces
to lead
continuó
between lanes
a pasar entre los carriles
at speeds
hacia de un carril
exceeding
a otro
60 miles per hour
a la velocidad de hasta
in a
60
35 miles per hour
por hora
zone.
en una zona de 35 millas por hora.
The passenger was
El pasajero
seen
se
hanging
vio
out of the window
por la ventana, la ventanilla,
while the vehicle was in
mientras el
motion.
vehículo estaba en marcha.
A traffic stop was
Se hizo
initiated.
un alto.
The defendant denied his
El
actions
tráfico,
and the
perdón, el
officer,
acusador negó sus acciones al
the officer
oficial. El
informed him that
oficial le
they would be on
informó
camera.
que estaban en cámara.
Officer informed what?
El
The
oficial
defendant that
observó
they would be on camera,
que el
the dash
acusado
cam.
estaba
Okay, so
grabado en
just pulls him
cámara.
out. Does he ask for a license, insurance, anything like that? Just pulls him out and arrests him?
At that point, they did,
En ese
I believe they
momento,
arrested him for
creo que lo
reckless driving.
arrestaron por manejo imprudente.
Yes, you. Mr. Lemus, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. Can you run him to see if he has a Texas driver's license, please?
He does not have a
Pregunta si tiene
license.
licencia de manejar. No, no tiene
Mr.
licencia.
Lemus,
Señor Limas,
if you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name, then you are
seguro,
not allowed to drive.
permite manejar.
That is a condition of your bond.
Son
If I
fianzas.
find that you violate these conditions, I will put you in jail. I don't know what your immigration status is, but if you're not in this country with permission and you go to jail and immigration finds you because they sweep it on a daily basis, they will put an immigration detainer on you and you will be stuck in custody until this case is over with.
Bajo custodia.
And then you get shipped off to immigration. Do you understand?
Él lo entiende. Tiene que estar-
Yes or no?
Sí o no? Yes.
How old are you, sir?
¿Qué edad tiene usted, señor?
17.
17.
Okay. I will provide you a lawyer today. So what we'll do is I'll have you fill out an application for me for a court-appointed lawyer.
Para una
I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria. I will have you take a seat in the jury box while we find you a lawyer. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. Otherwise, I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
arresto.
Okay, please, Deputy Rand, if you don't mind. Hi, Herman.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
Hey, man.
Mr. Payne, if you want to read along when the prosecutor does, you can read right there. Vicente Payne, Your Honor, page 11 per Victoria.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Payne.
Your Honor.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 15th at approximately 11:22 p.m., the officers were dispatched to a 911 call regarding a three-way motor vehicle crash at the intersection of Spencer Highway and 11th Street in Harris County, Texas. The defendant's motor vehicle was identified by his Texas license plate. The officer made contact with the defendant and observed slurred speech, red glassy eyes, a strong odor of alcoholic beverage, and poor balance. During the investigation, it was apparent that the defendant's motor vehicle failed to yield the right of way for left turn, causing the defendant's vehicle to strike Unit 2, causing Unit 2 to strike Unit 3. All parties involved advised at the time of the collision the defendant was operating his motor vehicle. The defendant advised that he consumed 3 tall boy Michelob Ultras at a residence prior to operating the motor vehicle. One open container was found cold to the touch and was located on the right outside of the defendant's motor vehicle's driver's side door, and that the defendant was advised that that was his 4th beer. SFSTs were conducted. It was a 6 out of 6 on the HGN, a 7 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 3 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The defendant was placed into custody and was transported to the police station. The DIC was read and sentenced to breath, which the results were a .234 and a .230.
Are you telling me that he had alcohol in the car and he's
Yes, Your
drinking while he's driving as well?
I cannot tell you whether he was drinking while he was driving, but alcohol was found in the
Where
vehicle.
was it?
It was found in the vehicle on the driver's side door.
Mr. Payne, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now not to drive any vehicle whatsoever for any reason. You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. If I find that you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You could be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge, may I request, I understand why the court is concerned about this case. Can we just limit it so he can just drive for the certain hours of the day so he can support himself to do the necessary things in his home with the interlock device and or scram device as well. I mean, it's hard, as you know, in Houston, Texas, it's hard for someone to be able to live where we have without any public transportation or anything to get around. If we can just limit his driving just to the specific hours that the court allows.
How old are you, sir?
21.
He's 21. He has beer in the car and he's a .26.
2-3, I thought, but I mean, I'm not to quibble, but yes.
No, you are not
Because the
to
bond conditions just
drive.
seem a bit egregious considering it's first off.
I understand, Herman, and I would recognize, or I would understand that it's elementary that you're not to have alcohol in the car while you're driving. And there's a 3-car collision. He's a .23 with alcohol in the car. No, I don't want you driving. And I'm telling you now, if I find that you do, there's going to be HE double hockey sticks to pay. Do you understand? You're also not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, likewise, you will be spending quite some time with me.
Will you reconsider the order or the condition, Judge?
I will always do it. Yes. I want some time to pass and I want to see some proactivity, Herman, and I'm always all ears. But for the moment, I don't want him anywhere near a car.
Is his appearance waived as long as he's maintaining his conditions, Judge?
Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. So you don't have to waste your time coming to court. But Mr. Payne, I want you to understand that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my city at all costs. If that means putting you in custody, I don't care. If you have Jesus here arguing on your behalf, I will protect my city at all costs. Do you understand? So, all right, I'll have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. I'm going to get you to Victoria Center Restate. You'll get with Felicia for your bond conditions, then you're free to go. Thanks, sir. Good morning, Mr. Salinas. Sir, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
I apologize, Judge. My internet is.
That's okay.
Okay. An investigator called the number listed in the city of Houston for McCall Gill, who stated that he had not worked for Premium Care in 3 or 4 years. The investigator found the defendant to be Craig McPherson. Officer conducted a search on Craig McPherson and was not able to locate EMS.
Is this the right office?
Sorry, yes, I think I apologize, Judge. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I don't know if you. Here, I'll just leave it. Just that, there must have. And I think it might be out of order. Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, yeah, that's the thing I did. Okay.
Is it crotch or something?
Sorry. No, Your Honor, just our notes are all backwards, so that's on me. I'm sorry. There it is. On May 23rd, 2023, the complainant made a report that his scooter was stolen and it was worth approximately $600. The complainant provided the serial number. On August 5th, 2024, the officer received a hit from Leads Online, which noted that the defendant pawned the scooter. The officer went to that Easy Pawn location at 12303 Bel Air and met with the complainant, who stated that the defendant pawned the scooter for $100. The complainant was able to provide the officer with the defendant's driver's license, and surveillance video showed that the identity of the defendant matched the video.
Yeah, but
driver's
you know that
license.
he took the scooter from the place, from wherever it was, how do we know that someone didn't give it to him? I get it that he's pawned. I mean, perhaps, possession of stolen property, but theft.
So the allegation is the complainant is not the owner of the scooter, it's a pawn shop. So the allegation here is that the defendant
Was charged with theft, right? So he has to steal it.
by acquiring or accessory.
Right, you have to acquire.
Yes, Your Honor.
Here, all he's doing is he's pawning it.
Ramsey?
You know, it's a specific intent crime, so we have to, you know,
The intent to deprive the pawn shop. So I think
well, the pawn shop is not it's the person who owned the scooter, which would be Mr. Elatari. That is the actual complainant because it's his scooter that gets stolen, but we just don't know who steals it. We know that he pawns it, right? And we get these so much and it just, the problem is that the legwork would be somehow, okay, we get it, go back to the complaining witness and then somehow see if is there a ring video that sees him stealing it, then, you know, so, right. It is what it is. Mr. Salinas, I'm going to find no probable cause in your case. Please be careful. You know, we're not asking for much. All we want our streets to be safe. You know what I mean? All right, please. All right, Ms. Jenkins, you were charged with assault to a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, ma'am.
on March 15th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, an officer was dispatched to a family dispute. The officer met with the defendant who stated that the complainant is her common-law husband. The defendant stated that the defendant attacked her and physically pulled her out of a vehicle and slapped her twice. The officer then met with the complainant who stated that the defendant attacked him and by striking him multiple times in his face, bit him on his nipple and felt a sharp pain on the back of his neck. The officer observed the defendant to have a bite mark on his nipple and a scratch mark on the back of his neck. Officers then spoke with a witness who stated they observed the defendant attack the complainant and continue even after they intervened. Officers observed no injuries on the defendant.
Any priors against us?
No.
And do we know what he wants? Ms. Jenkins, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. There is a protective order that has been issued in this case. I would get to know it. If you do something to violate this protective order, the state can and will probably file a violation protective order against you. It's one of the worst cases you can pick up. I don't know if this person wants to have contact with you. So until I know, I'm going to order you not to have any contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons.
So he would still like contact from what I can read here.
Is that from
He
a
said
rip?
it's from a rip.
When was it performed?
The rip was performed today at 9:14 a.m.
Okay, what?
He basically said that he wants to drop the charges.
I'm ordering you not to have any threatening or harassing contact against this person. You need to understand that what is threatening or harassing, it doesn't matter what you think, is what he perceives. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
No.
Okay, I'll have you fill out an application. Deputy Miranda's going to give you an application. I'll take a look at it to see whether you qualify. I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. Do not leave until you sign. Okay? Please. I'm looking at the order for protection now. Who is the complaining witness? What's the relation? It's boyfriend, right?
Yeah, 3 kids together.
Stop. No.
I'm looking now. We do not.
It's the guy, right?
It's the guy, and I don't have anything when I click on his name. And then when we tried to make contact with him, he got quite irate and said he didn't want to comply.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because in these order for protections, there is a residential restriction that prohibits you from going back to residence of where this person lives or where this person works. So that's why I was deciding whether to keep this on or take it off. The problem is that I don't want you guys to get in another situation where you're going to end up back in custody with a new case because you guys keep butting heads. So you need to be very careful. If you got a bunch of kids with this person and you guys are constantly butting heads, you're the one that's going to end up in jail with a new case if you guys start going at it again. You understand?
Yes.
So you need to be very, very careful, especially if you have a temper. If you, look, 99% of the people that are in jail now are there because they have no self-control. They wig out and they do whatever they want to do without thinking, if I do this, what's going to happen? If I say this, what's going to happen. And sometimes you have but a second to reflect. Use self-control, especially if you have kids. Because if your kids see this violence, what do you think they're going to do? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. If you are like this and the kids see this, they'll be like, just like you. I'm going to take the residential restriction off. The only thing I'm counseling you is be careful, especially if you guys butt heads a lot. All right?
Okay.
You've got a great lawyer here. He will take care of you. Just listen to him if there's ever any issues. All right?
Okay.
Okay. Thanks. So they're going to file no contact, no weapons. I think that, let me see if we already have it. We do. So we'll have you sign the conditions now, and then after that, you're free to go. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Torres,
This allegation is Hujia 5-minute chokehold leading to unconsciousness. If true, that's serious felony behavior. But the defendant insists they got the wrong guy. This is where cases hinge on real evidence evadio, injuries, medical records. Who do you believe at this point? Let me know in the comments. Is this a misunderstanding or something much darker?
you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 15th, 2025 at 3:34 a.m., officers made a traffic stop and asked for a second officer to make scene as well. The officer observed a silver Chevrolet Malibu with no headlights on. The officer approached the driver's side and observed the defendant to be behind the wheel.
Hold on a second. Ladies, move away from each other, please. Miss Uloa.
The officer approached the driver's side and observed the defendant to be behind the wheel and operating the vehicle. The officer observed glassy eyes and odor of an alcoholic beverage. The second officer, a DRE, observed a mild odor of an alcoholic beverage, bloodshot eyes, and unsteady balance. The defendant stated that he was coming from the library and drank 2 beers. 18
The library?
from a library. I don't know. Your Honor.
Sure. Popular
and then-
library, I tell you.
He drank 2 beers 18 to 24 hours ago. SMSTs were conducted. It was a 6 out of 6 on the HDN, a 4 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 3 out of 4 on the one leg stand. The defendant was arrested and declined to provide a sample, so a blood warrant was signed.
I forgot what the stop was. What was the stop for?
No headlights at night.
Mr. Torres, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Can you run him to see if he has any prior WIs and if he has a driver's license?
Not any priority WIs. His license is ineligible.
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 You are not allowed to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life, and I don't care what you got to do. I don't care if there's a burning building and you have to save 50 kittens. If you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, you are not allowed to drive. Do you understand?
Sir.
You will be signing an affidavit with me today. This is a promise that you're going to make to me that you're not to drive. There's no justification that you can give for getting into a car and driving. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Hire a lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are going to give you time. I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. I will get you to Victoria. We will have you sign a reset. After that, you will get with Felicia for your bond condition. And after that, you're free to go. Be careful and protect my community, because if I find that you're a danger to it, it's not going to go well for you. You understand?
Sir.
Okay, come on. Q, are you ready? Let's do it.
At least he knows that it's not.
It's gonna be on page 22 and 23.
Did we not do a TRAS on Miss Morgan? This is Morgan, right? I thought we did a TRAS.
We did.
This is the lot, we're not gonna continue. This is your third trespass within a year. The next time, if you pick up another case, get ready. If you need any resources, we have resources here for you. If you need a place to sleep, if you need food to eat, if you need somewhere to go, money, whatever, all you have to do is come back here and we will give you whatever you need. But living on the street takes its toll, and we're not going to continue to do this. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Next time, we will really get to the bottom of it. Do you understand, Ms. Moore?
Yes, sir.
You're charged now again with criminal trespass and interference with duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine on each of those cases. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, it will go on your record. It will stay there forever. This is it. I'm not going to continue to play this revolving door. Do you understand? How do you plead to both of these offenses? Guilty or not guilty? I'm going to find you guilty and I'll sentence you to 30 days in jail and I'll give you credit for the 17. The next time you pick up a criminal case, come back. You've never once come back. Come back if you pick up another one. Do you understand? Good luck, Ms. Moore.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Saldana.
Morning, y'all.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 15th, 2025, at 4:05 a.m., an officer observed the defendant operating a vehicle with an obstructed windshield. The defendant's vehicle was observed to have front end damage that included a hood that was damaged and open with the bumper in the engine compartment. A traffic stop was initiated. The defendant had slurred speech, glassy red eyes, and a strong odor of alcohol on his breath. SFSTs were conducted. 6 out of 6 clues observed on the HGN, 2 out of 4 clues observed on the one-leg stand, 4 out of 8 clues observed on the walk and turn. The defendant consented to a breath test. The results were 0.144 and 0.129.
Douglas Bunion?
What's the stop for?
Um,
Because he's got a beat up car. Right?
yes, so it states that he had an obstructed windshield due to the damage that to his vehicle.
Includes restatement though. How?
Judge, because of the front end damage, the driver of the vehicle would not be able to see out of the front windshield, and it was considered a safety hazard.
Does it say how? I mean, how? Like,
What the damage was or
what's
how
the, how is the obstruction?
The states of the hood was damaged, the front hood was damaged and open.
To where it's facing, to where it blocks his, I guess, field of vision?
It states that the windshield was obstructed, so. It's right.
I guess I'll find probable cause for now, and then we'll talk to defense lawyer, and if they can show me something differently, I guess I'll revisit it. Mr. Saldana, I'm gonna find probable cause for now. I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm gonna test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or drugs, it's not gonna go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any prior DWIs, and does he have a license?
He does have an eligible driver's license, Your Honor, and no prior DWIs.
Okay. You are also not allowed to drive unless you have car insurance in your name. You must maintain liability insurance. That is also a bond condition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you get your bond conditions with Felicia, and then after that, you'll be free to go. All right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Please. Oh, do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor. I have a lawyer with the Texas Defense Criminal Group, I believe is their name.
You have a lawyer?
No, who's that? Oh, Gibbons. Saldana. Oh, yes, Gibbons is attached. He didn't print out on the docket. Though.
Oh,
So we can.
okay. So let's do this. Let's wait for your lawyer. Is your lawyer going to come here? Do you know?
They haven't, I texted them this morning and they haven't responded.
Okay, so let's do this. I'll have you sign and get all the paperwork ready. I'll have you wait a little bit to see if they show up, and then because we need to get a good date. So I'll have you sit, just wait a bit to see if they come. If they don't, then we'll reach out to them. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Please, for sure. Good morning, Mr. Bodian. So you're charged with failure to stop and give information after striking a highway fixture. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 14th, 2025, at approximately 11 a.m., officers were dispatched to the 10,400 block of North Tree Hollow Circle in LaPorte, Texas, in Harris County, in reference to a minor accident where a vehicle struck a light pole. The officer was advised by dispatch that a witness observed the suspect leaving the scene and were provided a description of the vehicle. The officer began to check the area and observed that a vehicle that matched the description with wiring hanging out of the front of the vehicle and front end damage. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and observed several car parts, including a front bumper in plain view. The defendant stated that he struck the light pole and left the scene because nobody else was involved. Centerpoint, the light pole company, stated that the cost to repair would be approximately $3,000.
Mr. Bodian, I'm going to go find that there is sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. Can you run his license to see if he has a valid license, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance. Do you understand? Good. These are your bond conditions. If I find that you violate these conditions, if you pick up a new case, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, sir?
Yes.
Okay, we'll give you time to hire a lawyer. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. We'll have you take a seat in the jury box. We'll get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be on your way. All right? Do not pick up any new cases. All right?
Good morning.
And you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you.
On March 14th, 2025, at approximately 12:32 a.m., an officer observed the defendant outside of her vehicle twerking at a red light intersection.
Twerking?
Yes, sir. The defendant then returned to her car and drove southbound down Montrose Boulevard. The officer observed the vehicle failed to signal a lane change multiple times. A traffic stop was initiated. Officer observed the defendant to have the mild odor of alcohol upon her breath, slurred speech, and glassy eyes. The officer asked the defendant to exit the vehicle, and the defendant stated she had 2 glasses of gin with champagne at a bar. SFSTs were conducted. 6 out of 6 clues were observed on the HGN, 3 out of 8 clues observed on the walk and turn, 2 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to a breath test at 1:18 a.m. Then at 2:20 a.m., she said she did not consent. A blood search warrant was signed and executed at 3:06 a.m.
All right. Any prior to be honest?
No prior, Judge.
License?
Eligible.
Ms. Bookman, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of illegal drugs, you will go to jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, we will give you time. So what I will have you do is I'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You'll get with Felicia your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go.
Thank
When
you.
you come back, please have a lawyer.
Okay.
Please. Good morning, Mr. Garcia. Your lawyer came by here yesterday. We did probable cause. I'm gonna now find probable cause. I mean, let's do it just for,
Okay.
so he can hear it, but you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, sir.
On March 15th, 2025, an officer was working at crash scene in Pasadena, Harris County, Texas. At approximately 1:15 a.m., the officer heard tires squeal and a vehicle collision a short distance away. The officer observed a vehicle had collided with a fully marked police vehicle with emergency lights activated. The officer observed the defendant, the driver, and sole occupant to appear confused and have glassy eyes. The defendant exited the vehicle and the officer observed red glassy eyes, slurred speech, uncoordinated and lethargic movement, and the odor of alcohol emitting from his person. The defendant admitted to drinking 2 beers. SFSTs were conducted. 6 out of 6 clues were observed on the HGN, 3 out of 8 clues on the walk and turn, 2 out of 4 on the one-leg stand. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to provide a breath specimen. The results were 0.134 and 0.123.
No prior DWS, right?
No prior DWS.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I am ordering you not to consume alcohol. Do you speak English, right? Okay, I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? Do not pick up any new cases. You've got a great lawyer. Listen to him and he'll take care of you. I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Mr. LeGrand and he'll tell you when you have to come. All right? I'll have you go to Victoria Center reset. You'll get with Fleischer for your bond conditions and then you're free to go. All right. Good morning, Mr. Otto. Sir, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 13th, 2025, at approximately 10:15 p.m., an officer initiated a traffic stop at the 5804th block of Southwest Freeway on a black Alfa Romeo. The officer observed the motor vehicle weaving in and out of traffic at high speeds, endangering other motorists on the road, almost striking multiple motor vehicles. The officer had to increase to speeds up to 100 miles per hour to catch up to the motor vehicle and traveled about 6.1 miles. The defendant admitted to driving over 100 miles per hour in an attempt to catch up with another motor vehicle. A NCIC TCIC check revealed the motor vehicle had no valid insurance. The defendant was identified by his Illinois driver's license.
So can you run him to see if he does have a license, please?
His Illinois driver's license is valid.
Mr. Otto, I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to drive maniacally again. If I find that you drive like this and put other lives in danger, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. Do you understand?
Sir.
No reckless driving, racing, street takeovers, anything of this manner. If I find, first thing, I'm going to put you in jail. The next thing, I'm going to take your ability to drive away. Living in a city this big without the ability to drive blows. Do you understand?
Sir.
Do you mind filing this condition, please?
Yes, sir.
You're also not allowed to drive unless you have valid liability insurance in your name, car insurance. If you don't have car,
Bills are running.
okay. I don't care if you're driving the Dodge Patas. If you don't have car insurance, you're not to drive. Do you understand?
Sure.
Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, sir?
Yes.
Did you want to apply for a court-appointed lawyer? Okay, we will give you time to hire a lawyer. I'm going to have you go to Victoria Center reset. After that, I'll have you take a seat in the jury box. So we'll get your bond conditions. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions, and then we'll let you go hire a lawyer. Please. What was your last name?
Patterson.
Morning, Mr. Patterson. Good morning. Sir, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to, have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On March 14th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, an officer met with the complainant who stated that the defendant is his stepfather. The complainant stated the defendant was not happy with the yard work the complainant had done and punched him in the face several times. The officer observed the defendant to have a bloody nose, swollen lip, and bruising. The defendant admitted to punching the complainant in the face due to the complainant throwing a bottle of water at him. So the defendant stated that he punched the complainant in the face because the complainant threw a bottle of water at him. Complainant said he punched him in the face because he was unhappy with the yard work he did.
Do we know whether they want to have continued contact or no?
We have not been able to get into contact with the complainant yet, Judge.
So, Mr. Patterson, there is sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you not to have any contact with this person, not to be in possession of weapons. These are your bond conditions. If you violate these conditions, well, first of all, you have a protective order. If you violate the protective order, they can file additional cases against you. A violation of a protective order, it's one of the worst cases you can pick up. And in our assault, if you violate those conditions, I will revoke this bond. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So no contact, no weapons. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
No, sir.
I'll have you fill out an application. I'll look to see whether you qualify. I need to know everything about you, how much money you have in the bank, what kind of, everything about you, and then I'll take a look to see if you qualify. Deputy Miranda, do you mind giving me an application, please? I'll have you sign a receipt. Victoria will have you take a seat. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions.
Yes, sir.
Okay? All right. Good morning, Mr. Sanchez. Sir, you were charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
Judges Fleischer. On March 14th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officers were dispatched to a disturbance. Upon arrival, the officers observed the defendant attempting to force entry into the residence. The officer met with the complainant, who stated that the defendant is his boyfriend of 6 years. The complainant stated that the defendant arrived intoxicated and became angry after she told him that he was intoxicated. The defendant then forced his way into the bedroom, grabbed the complainant by the hair, and pinned her to the bed while he scratched her under the eye, causing pain. The officer observed a visible scratch.
Mr. Sanchez, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I am now ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any illegal drugs, I will put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand? I am also ordering you not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case and not to be in possession of any weapons. There's a protective order that has been issued in this case. I would get to know it. If you violate this protective order, the state can and will file a violation protective order against you. It's one of the worst cases you can pick up. Do you understand?
Sir?
Okay, Mr. Sanchez, do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, we will give you time. I will have you sign a receipt with Victoria. We will have you take a seat in the jury box while I get your bond conditions. I'll have you sign it, and after that, you'll be free to go. Please.
Judge, these are for
No
me.
contact, no weapons, please. Oh, no, don't worry about it. You're right. Yeah, because he's being monitored. Yeah, sorry. So no alcohol, drugs, randoms,
No contact.
no contact, no weapons. Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Ladies, both of you are charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
On February 25th, 2025, at approximately 12:57, officers arrived to a Target store at 2580 Stern Street in Harris County, Texas, for a theft in progress. The complainant stated that the defendants passed all points of sale without paying for the merchandise. The officer viewed security footage and saw that the footage of the defendant and the co-defendant passed all points of sale without paying for items that were selected and placed in either the shopping cart or inside the defendant's purse. The total amount stolen was $546.45.
Are they together? They both stole
Yes,
the
Your
whole
Honor,
thing?
they were both together and they both had control of the shop.
Okay. All right, ladies, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering both of you not to go to any Target for any reason. Do you understand? If you violate these conditions, if I find that you pick up a new case, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you guys have the ability to hire a lawyer? Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? Would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer? I'm going to have you both fill out applications. We'll see whether you qualify. And I need to know everything about you, okay? How old are you, man? How old are you, man? Okay. Deputy Miranda, do you mind giving the applications? We're gonna have you, I'm gonna have bond conditions created for you to sign. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions, otherwise I will issue a warrant, okay? All right, please.